In 2019, the Indian government revokes Article 370 of the Indian Constitution, which grants special status for Jammu and Kashmir. The news impacts a cancer-ridden Pakistani Army General Qadir, who decides to exact vengeance against India and signs a contract with Jim, who leads Outfit X, a private terrorist organization. Meanwhile, Pathaan is a RAW agent, who along with his senior officer Major Nandini Gruel open a unit dubbed Joint Operations and Covert Research, JOCR, in order to recruit former RAW agents and soldiers who were forced to retire due to past trauma or injury, but want to continue serving the country. With RAW Joint Secretary, Colonel Sunil Luthra's acceptance, Pathaan and his team head to Dubai to stop Outfit X's suspected plans of attacking the President of India at a scientific conference. However, they realized that their actual plan was to kidnap two scientists, Dr. Farooqi and Dr. Sahni, and the information they received about the imminent attack on the president was just a ruse to mislead them. Jim attacks the scientists' convoy and Pathaan tries to stop him. A fight ensues, where Jim manages to escape with Dr. Sahni. At the debrief back at the agency, Luthra reveals that Jim was a former RAW agent, who was awarded with the Veer Puraskar for his bravery after the agency could not find his body when Somalian terrorists killed his wife and unborn child after the government refused to pay out the ransom demanded. He had apparently faked his death in order to seek vengeance against the agency and country for not saving his family. Meanwhile, Pathaan learns about the code word dubbed Rock Beach and also that the dead people in Dubai were ex-agents and their money was transferred from the account of Rubina Mohsin, Rubai, a Pakistani doctor in Spain. Pathaan travels to Spain and is captured by Jim's men, where he also learns that Rubai is an ex-ISI agent. When Jim leaves his hideout, if you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movie's explanation. Rubai attacks Jim's men and escapes with Pathaan. Rubai reveals that Rock Beach is in Moscow, where they travel to steal it before Jim does. However, Rubai betrays Pathaan and has him captured by the Russian police. It is revealed that Jim used Rubai to make Pathaan steal the Rock Beach for himself. Pathaan is captured, tortured, and taken to prison by train, but is saved by Avinash Singh Tiger Rathore. 3 years later, Pathaan travels to Africa and captures Jim's henchman Raf. He meets Nandini and reveals about Jim purchasing 2 Sabre missiles, while Nandini reveals Rubai's location in Paris. Pathaan meets Rubai, who reveals that the Rock Beach is a mutated smallpox virus, which was forcibly developed by a captive Dr. Sahni under Jim's orders. She also expresses guilt about betraying Pathaan without knowing that her country would plan such a heinous attack. They travel to Jim's lab in Siberia and manage to recover one orb containing the virus with great difficulty, while Jim escapes with the other orb. Luthra and Nandini reach Jim's lab to take the orb back to India in order to develop a vaccine. Luthra also has Rubai arrested for having questionable loyalties. At the Indian Institute of Contagious Diseases, IICD, Dr. Farooqi opens up the orb to Nandini without apparently finding anything. Jim calls them and reveals that the orb has already spread the virus in the facility. The infected scientists, along with Nandini, die in the facility by shooting themselves, to curb the spread of the virus. Later, the facility is destroyed in a controlled blast. Jim provides an ultimatum to evacuate Indian soldiers out of Kashmir within 24 hours. Pathaan interrogates Raf about the location of the missile and learns that the missile is situated in Afghanistan. After rescuing Rubai, they lure Jim's associates into a trap and attack Jim's base. Qadir is killed by Rubai after he activated the missile containing the virus. Pathaan chases after Jim with a jetpack and they both crash land into a cabin. Meanwhile, Rubai deactivates the missile, but finds that Rock Beach is not in the missile, but instead in a passenger-bound airplane, which is about to land in Delhi. Rubai informs Pathaan, who finds that Jim has the detonator. Luthra calls the air traffic control to prevent the plane from landing in Delhi. In the cabin, Pathaan and Jim fight brutally, resulting in the cabin to begin sliding off a cliff. Despite getting stabbed by Jim, Pathaan steals the detonator, deactivates Rock Beach, and kills Jim by throwing him out of the cabin as the foundation is about to break. Afterwards, Pathaan is reinstated into Raw and made as the head of JOCR, while Nandini is posthumously awarded with the Veer Puraskar for her bravery. In a mid-credits scene, Pathaan and Tiger are seen pondering about retiring and suggesting young agents who can replace them, but eventually decide to keep fighting the threats themselves.